Hey guys, it's Brian again. Today we're looking at a pressure washer. We're outside or close to outside because the customer's already warned me that this thing leaks a lot. But he says there's no pressure. So we're going to figure out what we got going on here. As usual, this is a working shop. So there's times I have to stop to help my customers, help phone calls, things of that nature. But otherwise, we try to do these videos straight through so you can see what you got going on. Hopefully help you out when you're in a bind out on the job. And as I've said before, these are no substitutions for taking your equipment to a good certified shop. Before we get started, make sure you always got your safety stuff on. See, there's no pressure, injuries, shock injuries, eye injuries, things of that nature. The customer said that he's getting no pressure at the gun, but he just says it's leaking water somewhere. So I got everything hooked up. I'm gonna turn the water on. Yeah, sure enough, it's leaking out of here. It's leaking over here. I'm gonna turn this water off. So the way a pressure washer works, when you're building this pressure with the water, it actually, it's hard to explain, but liquid doesn't pressurize. So it's not really building until you're pulling the trigger. So when you pull the trigger and you got a leak coming out of your tip, then your pressure hits. And again, it's really hard to explain, but we're just going to go with that for now. So you got basically a leak in your gun when you pull the trigger and it's spraying out of that tip. So when it's spraying out of the tip and it's leaking here and here, then that also means you're spraying in two separate places, and you can't the pump can't keep up with that, because it's like using two guns at the same time. I'm trying to get this off. There we go. So we saw a leak at this fitting, and there's supposed to be an O-ring in there. There's no O-ring in there, so we're going to put an O-ring in, and I'm pretty sure that the O-ring is missing out of here. And let's see, this is the O-rings right here. So there's an O-ring that goes in your tip fitting, and there's an O-ring that goes in your fittings on the machine as well, and it's two different sizes. So these are 1/2 inch and they're 1/4 inch on your tips. So I'm going to show you how to put the O-rings in, actually on the injector, because it's a little easier to show you there, and I'm going to put one in here, and then we're going to try it again. Alright, so here we are with the injector. I got it in the vise. So normally I do this holding it in my hand, but kind of hard to do while holding the phone as well. So there should be a black ring down in there. You see the before. I'm going to show you the after. So you're going to just stick the O-ring down in here. And I'm going to have to put the phone down to do this, but you see the O-ring's in there. But you got to fit it down because there's a groove. You don't want to use anything sharp. I use this piece of plastic most of the time. It just forces it down into the groove where I needed that, and then you might have to fish around in there. To get it all the way down in the groove. You might have one little ripple that wants to stick up. And like I said, it takes two hands a lot of times to do this. Alright, now you can see that black O-ring right there that you couldn't see a minute ago. There's a groove that runs around it. Didn't have one in there. Sometimes it'll get frayed up and it'll do the same thing, so you got to take it out and do the same thing we just did here. Alright, so I'm going to put one in the machine and we'll try it out again. Got the gaskets in. And we're going to turn the water on, see if we got any leaks. Got one leak off of my water hose, but no other leaks. This is the gasket with the O-ring they had in one portion of it. I don't know if you can see it there. See how it's oblong? That's because they crammed it in there, but it wasn't in the groove, so it didn't actually seat. So that's one of the reasons why it was leaking here. This one was just missing. So now we're gonna start it up. see if we get pressure on the machine. Oh, too much pressure on it now. It's one and done. Dump that pressure off. Struggling. Now, as you can see, the pressure was actually sitting over 5,000 psi on this 3,000 psi machine, which is why I've said before in my other videos that your pump can actually build more than the machine tells you you can build. In fact, the engine is what kind of actually determines what your maximum pressure is going to be. So I could actually, when I pulled the trigger, you could hear it did not sound good. It was bogging down, real low RPMs, and a little more pressure and it would have stalled it off. So what you want to do is bring your pressure back, which is what we did. So we brought it down from 5,000, 5,300 down to 3,000, 3,100 psi without the trigger pulled. And then that actually evened this out better. It didn't sound like it was struggling as much. But now I'm going to go in and reset the lot ring under here. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, catch my other videos. You'll see what that is, how to reset this. But he has no leaks, which means he has good pressure now, so everything's good to go. Any questions? Drop them in the comments. Find me on Facebook. I can help you directly there. Otherwise, you guys be safe. Call your mama and tell her you love her.